Okay, great. I'm here in my birthday onesie because it was my birthday in September and now it's my boyfriend's birthday. So anyway, it's all birthday time and it's getting cold here, so wearing something warm enough to relax in is important. Um, so just take a minute, come in for a landing in your body, feel whatever you're feeling. Everything that I offer in this session is up to you, whether you want to do it or not. You can do your own thing. But today we're going to work with flowing through some stuff. So as I said, come into your body. Here I'm talking. Let's just land and then I'll tell you what we're going to do. So coming in for a landing, feeling into whatever you need to feel, letting yourself move, not move, feeling what it's like to be alive in this moment, receiving the experience of being you, participating in the experience of being you with as much compassion as possible. Just letting ourselves slow down a little bit. Inviting all of ourselves back to this moment, all of our cells in our body coming into coherence and the systems of our body coming into coherence, meaning that we're working with ourselves, not against ourselves, but we're working with ourselves, each system, the breath, the heartbeat, the digestion, the hormones, everything is working together to help you live, to be alive, and to be vital. So we're going to start with this tongue. We're going to start with the tongue. Let's start with the lymph and then we'll get to the tongue. So we're going to do this whole lymph flush, which you could do standing, and I might stand at some point, and I'm just going to show you where we start. We're going to rub our hands together, get some energy in between your hands, just feeling that heat and sensation, some sensitivity into your hands, taking your right hand to this upper left clavicle, and you're just going to move that tissue, especially above it, but also kind of below, thinking that underneath that is the subclavian vein, and that's where lymphatic fluid is returning back into the bloodstream. And that is like the biggest pathway of re-entry for all the lymph in your body up here on these two sides in that subclavian vein. So if this return gateway is blocked, it's going to be problematic. So if it feels tender, be very gentle with yourself. If there's inflammation there, be really soft. But we want to open that gateway so that the lymphatic fluid that we're going to get moving a little bit has access to return into the bloodstream. And then it filters out through your body. And then same thing on the other side, so left hand to right. And I like to move a little bit as I'm doing this, so letting my there's a subclavian vein underneath it, my body's moving, and above it I'm massaging into it very gently, or less gently. For me, I can really get in there because I do it every day, multiple times sometimes. So it's like something we can do every day. And it just encourages the lymphatic fluid to return back through the heart to filter out of our bodies. And lymph is a huge detoxifier of our body. So we want that flow. The next place we're going to do, it's the angle of the jaw. We're going to do both sides at the same time. So I'm kind of getting all my fingers in and around. And the way that I touch into this is much slower and more gentle and more, I want to say delicious, more sensitive to what's going on. And I tend to have a little bit of inflammation there. I tend to have a little bit of stuff going on. And this is also going to be clearing the glial lymphatic stuff, which is your glial cells from your brain. So you want that open and free flowing, right? So this is the brain flow getting unblocked as well, the stuff clearing that out. You can even get along that edge of your jaw if that feels good. Sometimes I have a little one in there that's a little bit nubby. Next place we're going to go to is right next to your, here's my nostril. There's a little indentation there, right in there, just circling in there. And again, gently, there's a little lymph node there, clearing away stuff. And then under here as well, just under your cheekbone. So getting in there. And again, I'm moving my face a little bit. We're going to do a lot of face stuff today. We're going to do some tongue stuff and some humming. So we're really working with clearing out your body. And while we're doing that, we're going to add that nitric oxide from the hum, which is a vasodilator, works with the endothelium, the little cells lining your vascular system and your heart. And it is a antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. So as we're getting the stuff moving, we're helping all the fluids move. All right, so we did there, we did under here. We're gonna just rub our hands together again, shake it out, and take the 10 little dragons running through the forest. So letting, like, I like to kind of let my fingers be like little tree frog fingers and get my skin to move on my cranium. So as I'm in there, I'm not just scratching, I'm also trying to move the skin, kind of tree frog grab and move the skin around. But also you can do the scratching, which feels really good. Getting the whole, everything of, if you have hair, where your hair is, if you're bald, people in TV land, getting all of that stuff moving. Good. And then coming just down the back of the neck. And you're going to come back down to this where your sternal kind of clitomastoid is, and just draw down. So if there is stuff clearing through that lymph passageway, it's going to come down back to subclavian vein and into the heart. Same thing on the other side. And you can do this every day. It doesn't have to take a long time. You can do it in a few minutes. You can do it in the shower. And I have found that doing this clearing really helps me deal with allergies. If I feel like I'm getting sick, if I feel like I've been exposed to people that might be sick, I just do a lot of clearing. Next place, let's just do the K27 points. It's just below your clavicle. There should be a little indentation. This isn't lymph clearing. This is like thymus thump and K27. Honestly, I don't even know what it's doing. I just know that my body wants to do it and it feels good. And I've read it in Donna Eden's energy medicine book, but I can't remember what it's for. But I know it's like, oh yes, this just feels good. So I like to add it in. Then the thymus thump, just tapping it out, little Tarzan, let some sound out. Oh, so the sound can help break up any kind of stuckness in your lungs. And then the next place will be right hand to this left armpit pec, and you're going to squish around there. I'll have to look up the K27 point and see what it does. It's like a meridian point. And I like to layer my systems, right? I want everything on my sandwich. I don't just want like one thing. No cucumber sandwich for me. Give me everything. Hummus, cucumber, ham, all of it. Mayonnaise and mustard. Throw on some vinegar. Switch it to the other side. Same thing. And again, also you could move this to get that movement from inside and from outside. Doesn't have to just be squeezing from the outside. And all of this, I'm doing the massage. You could also tap it. Tapping also is a way of doing it. We're going to go to the next point. Here's where my belly button is, and this is the bottom of my ribs. It's right in the middle. That's your cisterna chyli, biggest lymph node in the body. And I'm just going to kind of push in and up, pulsing it. If you do Kapalabhati, you're pumping right around that cisterna chyli. So that's going to be great for lymphatic draining, clearing, any kind of deep diaphragmatic breathing, great for the lymph. Just getting in there. This is always the one that my body doesn't exactly love having my hands jammed in there. Other parts, it feels fine, but this one was always like, oh, really? Next place, I'm just going to stand up, or this is inguinal fold. So it's right where your leg, the fold of your leg is between your pubic bone and your hip bones, getting in there, lots of lymph nodes in there. So in a way today, I'm like the headless person. In a way today, which is perfect for my outfit, clearing these pathways for flow within our body, and then hands behind your knee is also clearing like our energetic flow. Our system of our body mind is not two separate things, it's all one. So I'm going right behind the eye of my knee, and I'm circling kind of with my first finger, just digging in there. And that's that. And then shaking that out. Come back to a seated or lying down position. And we'll go with this tongue movement. So tongue with a hum. So what I'm going to do with my tongue is just close my mouth and let my tongue meander around inside my mouth, circling in one direction, circling the other, or just going free flow wherever it wants to go with a hum. And the hum is going to be kind of a low sound. And if I get tired, I'll take resting breaths, whatever I need, but we're just allowing our face and our tongue to move, and with this vibration sound. So we're really affecting fluid when we have that vibration, and we just cleared a lot of fluid. So we're giving more chance to awaken and enliven whatever's going on in our mouths and in our throats and even in our lungs, and then in our blood when we inhale back through our nose. That when we hum, that nitric oxide is created in the turbines of our nose. More active one today. So working with that, you're going to make a humming sound and then circles, breathing through your nose, exhaling through your nose, and circling your tongue in your mouth. Make sure you inhale back through your nose so you get that nitric oxide in. Take resting breaths whenever you need to. If you feel like it feels like too much, just let it go and just be in your own experience of feeling that lymph fluid moving through you. You can close your eyes if you want to and just come into sensation, so you're really in the vibration of the sound in your face, in your bones, in your teeth. Let's just do it a couple more times. Let's let that go. Just breathing regularly, and we're just going to turn our head slowly from side to side. And if you feel like you want to spend more time in any area, like it doesn't have to be just a turn one way and then the other, you can also like micro move within that horizon line. This can be with eyes open, taking in your surroundings, or with eyes closed, either way. If you're fairly upregulated, leaving your eyes open and taking in your environment will help you downregulate. But if you're already downregulated and you just want to go in and really feel into it, then feel free to stay in it. And now we've just done all that work through our neck, our heads, all that lymphatic clearing, the tongue stuff. So there should be new experience in there just for awareness sake, feeling that is slightly different than normal. Or there may be, better way of putting it, there may be something to see there that's unusual or different or interesting. Don't force your body into anything. Just allow whatever kind of turning feels good to happen. So most of the movement in your head, turning, nodding, tilting, is happening really in your occipital joint, where your cranium is joining on, and then those first two vertebrae. So most of it's happening up here. It's not all happening in the rest of our neck as much. It's happening a little bit, but most of it is happening up in those first ones. And this is also related to our optic nerve. Our optic nerve comes down into the nape of our neck, sort of back here, and then is coming back. So when we have a lot of tension in the back of our neck or upper back, neck, shoulders, we're kind of blocking energy to our eyes. We're blocking a lot of different things. So letting that be very easy and soft. And you may find that if your eyes are closed and you're in that, it may be like history comes up for you in places, like you remember things, or like it's like you're looking around an environment and something feels familiar, or you can get called to an area. Just allow your body to process anything it needs to process in that way. Don't get too stuck to any stories that come up. Just let them come and move through like images on a screen. It's just information. Allowing yourself to be in the curiosity of sensation. So as I'm moving my head with this, I'm also starting to bring in the awareness of my whole spine, my whole spinal cord, my whole nervous system, right? Moving around the brainstem, the primitive part of our brain is where we're telling ourselves we're safe to be here in the world. So we've been moving that around. And when we just pan the horizon, taking in the environment, it's giving our body the information that it's safe and you can let go. And if you don't feel safe, just breathe into it, open your eyes, look around, see what is there. And if you have like a pet, I've got a cat right there, that like instantly makes me feel good and happy. My plants, even looking at colors for me sometimes can just make me feel good. So I look at my pink jacket over there or the green, whatever. So finding the things that are soothing to you and taking them in, letting yourself focus on what is soothing. Soothing the nervous system, soothing your nervous system, soothing your body mind. I'm going to start to take it a little deeper into my twist and invite macro and micro movement into my head tail connection. So freedom in the head tail, allowing movement to move in any way that feels good. And you could be laying on the floor, you could be sitting in a chair, you can be standing, just letting movement start to come in any way. Maybe there's a little nudge to bring it in, or maybe it can just flow into movement with you, depending on sort of how much time you've spent improvising or allowing things to happen. It'll be easier or more challenging. So with these somatic practices, one way to come to them is in a sense that they're sort of layering information. But each time you come in, it might be very different. So don't come in thinking you know what it is or what it's going to feel like or what's going to happen. Come in with curiosity. So it's an inquiry practice of what does this feel like now? And it will be very different from day to day. Like if you take this video and repeat it 3 times in a week, probably each experience is going to be very different and different things will arise. How long does it take for us to know something? And where do we know? Where's our knowing? So thinking of this as a way of actually not knowing, but being in the unknown and in the curious and in the experience without having to lock it into any kind of knowing. I'm going to take this down to the floor and add music. The music is Jeff Gersh, Ambient Fields, and let's see, go with this one. This is album number 4, song number 1. And all of these are available on Bandcamp. So letting yourself keep playing, maybe you want to do the humming, maybe moving your tongue or freeing up your face, letting yourself play with whatever feels interesting to you. Freedom in your body mind. Like, how do you find freedom in there? By letting go. And also by letting
Your
go.
voice is going up and down a bit.
Oh. Pause the music. Is it my voice that's going up and down a bit? All right. I thought these earbuds would be better, but I think they're actually worse. I'm going to switch it out to the other ones. Okay, how's that? Better? Good. Okay. Thanks, Heather. Letting yourself, receive this moment. And letting that lymphatic fluid that we got moving really do its job to detoxify, clear away cellular waste, clear away whatever needs to be cleared out, any kind of inflammation, inviting your body to process in the healthiest way possible for you. You can add the hum also to get more of that nitric oxide into your blood system. Inviting flow into the fluids in your body so that they can move easily, nothing holding them or stopping them. And inviting flow into your breath, into the air as it comes in and as it goes out. Even inviting flow into your sort of the flow of consciousness, the stream of thought, the flow of being. And then, of course, the fire of your body, the electrical currents in your nervous system, in your heart. And inviting these flows to work with each other in the healthiest possible way. inviting ripples, waves, undulations into your movement. And if you feel like you really know what you're going to do next, see if you can slow it down or shift it. Change your tempo, change the space you're moving within, so that we're tuning towards novel movement, not repetition of the same pattern. Inviting your system to let go of any holding that is no longer serving you. Any stale, old cultural patterning or social patterning that doesn't quite fit. Your animal body doesn't want to behave for other people, right? It doesn't want to conform to rigidities that are not life affirming. So letting that organic, biomorphic animal nature have some life energy and life force or some awareness in your experience, letting it bubble up. Feeling into whatever's moving within you to sense where the flows are moving easily or where things might be sticking a little bit. So that's one of the reasons to bring in this micro movement underlying the bigger movement, this sense of tiny little adjustments happening within the fluidity of your system, hydrating tissue, allowing the flows of your body to proceed healthily. So we're not blocking our own healing. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in my head. So I keep just going hands on. And I mean like physical sensation. If it feels like you need to, or if your body calls to you, put hands on. Could be your heart, could be your guts, could be your head. Or your joints. Trusting that there is intelligence, right? There is energy in our hands. There's kindness in our hands. we're touching our body, we're affecting the tissue, right? We're affecting, even a very gentle touch can affect deep level tissue. Sometimes the more gentle, the more effective it is. If we try and force our body into something, our body resists and holds back. But when we're soft and gentle, it can allow the change, it can allow the shift, it can allow the adjustment and integrate it. Slow and steady. And inside of your skin, your body is suspended. It's suspended in fluid. There is levity and lightness, as well as gravity. We are connected to this planet, we're connected to the earth, but there's also a rebound away from the earth. We're not just pooling into the earth, we're also rising up and away. And we can work in harmony with our bodies, not forcing it into stuff, not dominating our bodies, not treating our bodies as objects that are separate from us. We are one. This is one expression, one dynamic, moving expression of life, body, mind. When we let our body dial down and go into these parasympathetic states, this sort of rest and digest, soothe and settle, and this is very much a sort of digesting place, processing. But when we allow this to happen, our bodies can heal, right? We're not holding rigidly against life. We're allowing it to process within ourselves. We're giving the environment, the internal environment of our body, the tissues, the fluids, the fibers, a chance to be coherent and harmonious. We can imagine that like the different parts of our body are like different instruments. We could say like the organs are like different instruments, and the skin, another instrument, and the air. We have our woodwinds, we have our string instruments, we have our vibrational instruments. It's all making the sound of life and being, right? And when we're coherent, the whole orchestra is in tune. And when the whole orchestra is in tune, like everybody feels it, right? The surrounding environment is feeling the in tuneness. And as our vibrations, shift into more coherent, healthy patterning, our life shifts. The surroundings mirror what's going on. But it's not like the snake oil, it's just the reality of being. I'm going to turn that down. Just give us a few minutes of processing the processing. I look like I stuck my finger in an electrical socket today. My hair is just standing straight up. It's like sometimes you see babies that have that hair that just stands straight up. This, it just happened by itself. Ah, letting yourself process the processing either in movement or in stillness, whatever feels good to you. The more time that I spend in these types of practices, also the more that I can really feel the energy of my body. So sometimes just when I go to bed or when I stop, I'm in stillness and there's no distractions. I just feel like a pulsing, thrumming life in my body. It's very energetic. So if it's new for people to sort of feel that much energy, it can be difficult to deal with. It's like, oh my God, I have all this energy. What am I going to do with it now? So you don't want it to happen super fast, like gently, slowly, over time. It's great. It's great for our bodies to take things in slowly. Usually when things happen fast to our bodies, those are really destabilizing injuries or illnesses. Let things happen slow, move into the slow lane. I mean, I'm a speed demon and I love to go fast. And my slow is probably like for really deeply kinesthetic somatic people, they probably can't be ever in my slow because it's way too fast for them. So I'm a fast one, but we're all operating with different sort of energetic systems, and it's all good. It's just different ways of being in the world and different sort of energetic levels and vibrations. So having said that, I'm going to close out the TV land. I think that nobody is watching it anymore.